Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here back this morning. So the title of our presentation, Quantum Technologies and Epigenetics, the foundation of a new approach to prevention, healing, and anti-aging. So I will not go through my background. You all know me now. The quick reminder, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert in quantum physics. My presentation is based on my research and experience in my practice, okay? And then also I'm not an expert in genetics and everything. So important also to note that our quantum technologies are not designed to diagnose or treat disease. Anybody with a disease should be treated by a licensed professional. It's always important to say that because some people come and they believe that we can treat their whatever disease, and we need to understand that we are dealing with stress mainly. So the agenda, we will talk a little bit about genetics and epigenetics, the role of the epigenome, presentation of our quantum technologies, and mainly I want to demonstrate a few procedures that we can use to work on epigenetics. And then, and it is so wonderful, you will see. So our mission here, I just want to let you know, yesterday I did not introduce my program. Our mission is to promote a disease-free society through a change of paradigm in the world of health, transitioning from treating symptom and disease to enhancing wellness and regeneration using quantum technologies. So the objective of this presentation is to present this new approach to health and wellness based on epigenetic and quantum technologies, and to present also the benefits for a health practitioner, how these quantum technologies could help your profession, in fact. And the food of thought, I said it yesterday, but I would like to remind you again that anybody who dies before the age of 120 is an untimely death, okay? So make sure, so we have a long program altogether, you know, and then I like to think that we can work a lot. And then here I just draw a few, let's say a program, how we can see health. I would like that we have a vision. Yesterday we had somebody even who talked about the fact that maybe we could postpone death, okay? So the idea here, what I want to say is that some people think that because they don't have any medical treatment, that they are in good health. Some people, this is what they are looking for. Some people are just they have symptoms but no medical treatment. Some other people, they are happy, they say, well, I have no symptom, no visible symptom. Some other people will look for wellness, mainly with the body and mind, therapies. But then we can go higher than that, to grow younger, okay? So this is something that is possible with a regeneration. And this regeneration, even we can think if somebody has a part of the liver that is gone, it can be regrown. Somebody who has an arm that has been cut, I believe it can be regrown. And in Russia, this is what they are doing. They are mainly working on this principle of regeneration. They are not working so much in what we call transplantation, you know, removing and changing organ. So, and then we can think about longevity. So some people yesterday said that we could live until 900 years. Like for me, I thought, oh la, because for me, I used to think 300. So I need to multiply by 3. So this is something that is possible. And as I said, you know, mainly Grabovoi, this Russian expert, he will talk about the eternal life, okay? So, and then for me, I believe that we need to look for full potential, our multidimensional self. And this is what we can see with those children we call indigo crystal and all of this. They are really going into this multidimensional. And we can eventually really use, you know, our DNA. We talk that we have a 2-strand DNA. They know that we know, or some scientific talk about the 13-strand DNA. And when we will activate all those DNA, the multi-dimensional self we can reach. So this is really something that I believe we can see. We need to keep in our mind that all of this is possible, okay? So genetic and epigenetic I will just go quick because you're many doctors and I guess you know all of this. But, we'll just go quick. And I would like to say one thing, is that I would like to demonstrate some of our practice with our device. And I would offer, if somebody would like to test, they would come and then Ganesh would just put the little captors. So whoever would like to come, I know we discussed a little bit, and then Monsieur, I don't remember your name. If you would like to come, you have to understand that all of this will be on the screen, but we will not go in too deep. But it is something. But if you would like, Ganesh, you come. Ganesh will already set, the harness. They have been clean, so everything is good. I am so sorry, cher ami. I'm happy that people are interested. And then, and then. That is good. So let them work. You do your thing, okay? So the gene and epigene, okay? Science and medicine. You don't speak too much, okay? Okay. So gene and epigene, the science and medicine have been grounded in the belief that we are programmed by our DNA and that our genes cannot be changed. This is not change. The new discovery made with Bruce Lipton have proved that our environment, not our DNA, shapes the development of our cells. Dr. Lipton discovered that we have epigene that attach to our cells and have control over who have control and above the regular genes, okay, inside our cells. So these epigenes change how our genes are expressed. And this is so important, to know about that. And you will see the impact of this. So the epigenome, I hope I say it the right way in English. So while individuals may find its origin in the genetic level, but it is epigenetic influence that dictates how the gene expressed. So this is mainly epigenetic, is the expression of the gene, okay? The epigenome comprises of all chemical compounds that have been added to the entirety of our DNA, okay, as a way to regulate the activity or expression of all the genes. So what they say is that a gene can have up to 20,000, 30,000 expression, okay? So this is really wonderful. And then we will see that some of those expressions are good and some are less. The chemical compound of the epigenome are not part of the DNA sequence, okay? It is something extra, AP. So the genome and the epigenome, what we just need to remember is that the genome is the hardware, the epigenome is the software, okay? This is clear, easy to remember, but also what is important, it is a lot harder to fix damaged gene than to rearrange our epigenetics. Okay, so this is why it is important that we deal with epigenetics before there is a big problem in our gene, okay? So genetics and epigenetics. So, we'll go quick. The genetic is the science that studies heredity and gene. Epigenetic is the study and influence of the cellular or physiological environment on the expression of our gene. So mainly this is the expression of the gene, okay? So our mind controls our cells. So this is where it starts to be serious. Dr. Lipton's experiment revealed that DNA responds to the signal from outside the cell. So electromagnetic signals that are produced by our sense, our thoughts, our belief, our emotion, as we experience the world, send messages to reach the cell. So as we constantly adjust to our environment, in our mind, so do our cells. So our body can be changed as we retrain our thinking, our way of thinking. So this is so important to see that the way we think influences right away the cells. And this has been proven with Dr. Lipton, and I hope you know his book. If not, you need to read The Belief of... yeah, exactly. So this is really something that is important. So the impact of this discovery, being able to change our genes offers a life-changing opportunity to the human race when applying epigenetic to the treatment of disease. So no longer do we have to be a victim of inheriting and developing abnormal genes, because now we can change them to eradicate disease and to pass good gene to our next generation. And this is so important because our role here is really evolution. And guess what? How many mutation happened for us to be here with the level of consciousness that we have now? And then that would be, we would be so sorry if because of some bad way of thinking, we just kind of, I would say, almost regress, okay? Life is expecting a lot from us, from evolution. And my example is always, you know the bacteria, you're all doctors, so bacteria, you know that when there is an antibiotic, and then at one point there is a mutation and there is a super bacteria that will go above. So this is what we call mutation. But for us, it's the same thing. Today, we are limited to maybe living to 90 years old. And then, when we reach the 90, oops, we die. But then there will be those superhuman who will go and mutate towards something else. Okay, so evolution is there, and it is really important. So epigenetic is there to help us to really make a big mutation for in our level of consciousness. So the positive and negative thought. So epigenetic work both ways. We say our thoughts influence genetic expression that can cure disease or cause disease. So the way of thinking of our thinking can influence and cure disease or cause disease, depending on whether you have positive or negative thoughts. Okay, so this is so important. Epigenetic changes are necessary for normal development and health, but they may also be responsible for some disease. Okay, so epigenetic alteration and disease. Epigenetic alteration may contribute to abnormal activation or silencing of genes. Such disturbance has been associated with various forms of cancer, some chromosomal instability, aging, development of neurological disorder, cardiovascular, diabetes, obesity, infertility, mental retardation. All of this, it can be related to alteration or dysfunctioning, let's say, of genes, okay, in our epigenome. So this is important, and this is why our technologies is best suited to deal with all of this, okay? And then we can work with our epigenetics. So what can influence our epigenome is the environment, nutrition, human brain, miasm. Okay, so we will have a look at that. Miasm, so I will explain everything. We have one slide for each. So the environment, so our environment has an influence on our genome by so-called epigenetic modification. Individual and consequently their genes are indeed subject to many environmental factors: diet, disease, drug and toxin, stress, toxicity, lifestyle, etc. Plenty of things. All of this is related to the environment. So maintaining a balanced bioterrain will support the activities of the epigenome. So this is mainly what we need to remember today, is maintaining a balanced bioterrain. And with our device, we will work on the energetic bioterrain, bioenergetic terrain. And this is really, really something that is important. And then the epigenetic and the human brain, okay? The brain reads the signal from the environment, interprets the signal, and then regulates the body chemistry, which controls the cell genetic expression, or the gene, the epigenome. The mind interprets the awareness or perception of environment signal based on physical sensation or what experience has taught it. So perception and belief are energy fields that can create a ripple effect and influence the gene expression of cells. So the way we perceive, even if, if I believe that this is dangerous, even if it is not dangerous, this has an influence. Okay, so perception and belief, and this is, what Bruce Lipton really explained. And epigenetic and nutrition, we say many studies have shown that the methyl chemical group is involved in epigenetic modification. So I don't know if you know the methylation. It's so much interesting. Do we have biochemists here? I mean, this is methylation, the methylation of DNA. It's really, really, really fantastic to read about all of this, okay? So we say that the supplement rich in methyl group are the folic acid, the vitamin B12, the betaine, and the choline. And all those need to be there to make sure that the methylation of the DNA is there, and then that our nutrition support our epigenetics, okay? And then if ever you want to have more information, I have plenty of good, nice article on this. And then, you know, as I said, it is wonderful. But, you know, mainly you keep, you know, at least you remember folic acid, B12, betaine, and then the choline, okay? You know, for sure you can always add a few more things because but specifically those are needed. Then the epigenetic and the miasm, and our friend here asked what it is. And then we say, by definition, an epigenetic miasm is a predisposition or a tendency by of certain physical and psychological problems that are either inherited or acquired during life. So this is mainly the weaknesses that we inherit from our, you know, genealogy. Okay, and what is important, the concept came from Hahnemann, who was the one who developed homeopathy. And he said that when we are sick, we are not sick only because of our own problem. He said we have inherited a weakness in our DNA. I will, Ganesh, ask for some water. I am so sorry. But this is so nice to talk about the miasm because, merci, monsieur, maybe you will just, all of us, we have miasm. We have mainly 6, 7, you know, important or well-recognized miasm, but are related mainly to, you know, we will talk about that because in our device we can have that. We know with our device what are the weaknesses that we are more vulnerable to, okay, that from our DNA. And this is really important. So and then I will talk about that. Energy miasm is essentially an energetic disharmony, a pattern of disease or imbalance that has been inherited or that we acquire during the life and then we transmit to our children. So this is key, very, very much important. Let's say one of the miasm that you will probably know is like tuberculosis. If we had in our genealogy tuberculosis that has not been well treated, then, you know, we have the weakness. And then you will have children with asthma or this, you know, pulmonary weakness and things like that. And then it goes, you know, look at that, what it is. They say epigenetic miasm is usually caused by improperly treated disease that can be as far back as 7 generations of the family tree. So this is why, you know, when somebody comes, we need to look at the genealogy, okay? It does not mean that we need to look at everything, not 7 generations, we don't know. But somewhere, you know, sometime I will always talk, you know, talk to me about your grandfather, your grandmother, and do you know about that? And, you know, it's so rich as information to help understand what is happening in this life, okay? And then, in other words, some of the acquired tendency could result from illness or medication from great-great-great-grandparents. Okay, so this is something that is important. And what is important is that those, you know, those miasm, if there is some homeopath, they know about that miasm. And then it's just weakness. You know, you need to understand one thing is that according to Dr. Hammer, fungus, bacteria, virus, they have a role. They are not totally bad, okay? So they have a role. But miasm is totally pure weakness. So this you can, you know, we need to find a way to get rid of this, and, you know, because they are affecting our DNA. So we will do our demo. So Ganesh, you will just come and complete this. With Monsieur, we are so happy that you come here because I am always a little bit careful about having, you know, a demo because because we don't want to expose everything. But this man is so open, so this is really wonderful. So we will look at, we will look. So this is the technology that we are using. I showed you yesterday, and what is important to know. Yes, okay, thank you, Ganesh. What is important to know is that I have developed a framework so that I can manage the bioenergetic terrain, okay? Oops. Okay, so yeah, that is. Can you just bring to the slide? Yes. So this is what I call the 8 pillars of prevention, wellness, and anti-aging. And then when we are using our device, we have so many information that some people just don't know where to go. So I said, listen, I create this. And then what is important is just to say, with the client, okay, your problem is mainly, or weakness, or stress is mainly in this area. So I will name, those 8 pillars of health and prevention. The self-regulating system. We need to make sure that our system self-regulate. And yesterday we talked about the vagus nerve, okay? I don't remember who is our man who was there. Yeah, and then the vagus nerve. So this is mainly, what we are doing here. Just make sure that if the vagus nerve, sympathetic, parasympathetic is working properly, are balanced, the rest will be equilibrated. Balance. And then we have the detox, make sure that the system of detox are very good. We need to make sure that assimilation, thank you, Ganesh. Assimilation of nutrients. And assimilation of nutrients, I need to tell you that in here, today, even if you are a doctor, I am sure that 95%, I will be kind, 95% of the people do not assimilate what they eat. But in the life, I would say 99%. Okay, but today I might just be a little bit kind. Okay, but the thing is that this is mainly the main problem. And people do not have the right nutriment in their brain, and then the hormone is not working properly, the neurotransmitter is not working properly, and then people feel depressed. And sometimes we look at the brain and we say, well, how can you manage your life? You don't have the right food in the brain. So the protein, so we'll have a look at that and we'll tell you how we do this. And then, yeah, that is so nice, Ganesh. Okay, so you just show me my thing. And then we will talk a little bit later about that. Thank you so much, Ganesh. And then oxygenation and hydration, so important. And then we can measure all of this with our device. The strong immunity, the mental and emotional balance, this has to be perfect. And nobody, 0%, including me, we do not have. It's not perfect. We all need to improve in this. And then regeneration capacity. We need to develop our capacity to regenerate, and mainly it's based on stem cell. And we can all do this type of work with our device, the stem cell, and this is the future. This is the future for anti-aging, the stem cell. And then there is a lot of information that is developed on that, and this is beautiful. And then the other one is the capacity for quantum change. I told you yesterday that there was a lot sometimes of resistance to change, and sometimes people do not want to heal. And sometimes they cannot heal because they are conditioned by the father, the mother, or whatever it is, the tradition and everything. So somewhere we need to, break this conditioning, this type of conditioning. And there is also all those people who are, I would say, limited by spiritual oppression, this type of thing. There are plenty of this type of thing. So, people are just sometimes abusing Sunday energies, and we are sensitive to that. So this is where we need to free ourselves there. So what I do with this, you can just, no. Sorry, Ganesh. No. So what I do with this framework is mainly to help practitioners, and then we look, and I have a nice lecture to say all the parameters that we look in our device to find out which area is weak, and also I have a special training, 5 days, where we go and do protocols or procedures on each and every of those pillars with the device, with some change in lifestyle and everything. So this is really complete. I believe that this is what I call prevention. This is really prevention, and then we are working that. So we ask you so this is wonderful. So he is doing, and also I would like to show you, maybe you will just go one slide. because I like it. Maybe the next one. I don't know if you know about this, okay? All the codon about the protein and the DNA and everything. So and this is so important. I delve into that. All this DNA thing, I guess I will tell you why. I was born with, in a family, my father was really an angry man. And then there was me, and then my son, and then my grandson, he did a lot of tantrum. Like my father, the same. And then I just thought, oh la la. This went from my father through me, but I am not an angry person. For me, it's hidden, but somewhere it is in my unconscious. And the same with my son. It appeared, in the fourth. This is what I call, the epigenetics and everything. And then I wake up. I just thought, Jacqueline, you need to look at the DNA. And this is so interesting to see that. And then I work, and then I had to accept the fact that there was anger inside of me, even if I don't show it. And then I had to work, and I work with a device very nicely. And then my son also, I told him, we have this. If our grandson is like this, it's because I could see that this was my father, okay? I could see it, okay? So that was really nice. Thank you so much. So, but then, yes. And then, so the codon is very nice because I will show you a little bit about that. Because we talk a lot about DNA, but we need to make sure that we have all what is necessary for the protein to create the DNA. And there are 4 nucleotides, and then we have that in our device, and then we look. So in there you see all the protein, the amino acid, sorry about that. The amino acid, the codon that are necessary for the amino acid. So when we will look at some amino acid, and if let's say tryptophan, if tryptophan is weak, we can look at see what are the codon that are needed to create the tryptophan. And from there, we can look and see if the codons are all well balanced. As I said, it might be a little bit technical for you. What I want to tell you and to show you is this: with our device, we can go deep. We can go deep. At one point, we cannot go further. That is okay. We go. So you go. So we have our friend. What is the name again? Just to introduce. Introduce the name. Yes, sir, your name.
Hi, my name is Anurup Singh. All of you are witnesses to what they're doing to me. I think that the greatest application of this is to reduce your wife's temper.
And then, what is important? Thank you so much. What is important to know also is that usually I always have somebody to sign. What we call agreement, that they understand that I'm not a doctor. We are not doing treating disease. We are just looking at stress. So we just want to protect ourselves. So today he will not sign a little paper like this, but he is witness. Everybody are witness that he knows that we are not doctors and everything. Okay. So and then if somebody have pills. I need to tell you, the other day I had one lady from Mauritius Island, and she said, Jacqueline, the problem with this person is the medicine. I said, you don't touch this. She said, the medicine is killing her. I said, you let the medicine kill her. You cannot interfere with no medicine. I said, what you can suggest is to go back and see her doctor, but we don't touch, okay? We don't touch, even if we see that. We see. So it is so important. It's 2 areas of health that is different. And for us, we need to be careful because one mistake and then, it's over for us. So we need to be very careful. So what we did now is that the device has connected with Monsieur. Okay? Well, it's too complicated to me. Sing. Okay, sing. Okay, so that is good. So, okay? Very good. So you go. And then you click, okay. Now here is also kind of therapy that we could do for him. You don't see, but there is one that we could do. It would be the brain, because the key thing you saw, nutrition, environment, brain, stress. We have plenty of things here that we could do, but we will not do. What we could do, ask what the superconscious want for this man. The superconscious would like that we do that he do a 20 minutes of electro-transcendental meditation. So this is good if your body respond to this. And he want also to the circulation. Yeah, well, and relaxation. Well, I guess, with all this training, maybe you are... and degeneration. So, you need to understand also that, we can say, let's say today we will say that it can pick up some of the energy of other people. But in fact, it will not. So, but it could be something else. So, I just want to show. So, before starting, what we can do is just have a look at his brain. So, what he will do, you go there. I will just go, and then it will just show like the brain. Do not worry if it is like crazy a little bit. At the beginning, it is the way it is. And what is interesting for me is the result here. So it is what we call an EEG. It's not a real EEG because we don't have, the right, pattern. But the result is there. You will see what it say here. So they say that there is whatever. Imbalance in the two hemispheres, and then oxygenation and occipital. So this is really important. We will not go into the deep. You stop this one, yeah. And then we go to ECG. And the idea of the ECG is just to see a little bit about the blood. We are not doctors, so we need to be, as I said, we need to be careful. But those who are doctors, you can deal with this very nicely. And there is plenty of more information that we will not talk today, but I just want to let you know that right at the beginning, we can see. Look at that, this is his heartbeat. So what it says here is that the heartbeat is, you are sympathetic, but it is very good because it says normal here. And there is maybe some fear and sympathetic. So maybe there is some fear in your, from the heartbeat, okay? You stop. At the end, we will come back in this panel, and then we'll show you how we can stimulate the brain, okay? But not this time. We will just do the testing. Okay, we'll just go do the testing quick. It will take 4 minutes. So during those 4 minutes, what happened is that we will just, the system will present 10,800 frequencies, and through the harness, he will react to some of those frequencies. And when he reacts, means he wants it or he don't. It's like the two extremes. So we need to decide eventually. So we will need to see what he is reacting to. And when he reacts to something, usually it's because he needed today. Okay, will be. So what is important is that we look at the present moment what he needs. Okay, so what we will look at that while the system is testing him. We will just look at like the voltage. You remember yesterday I told you that we can measure health. So the voltage is 72. We would like 80, okay, 80 and above. So we could work on that a little bit, and then with the A. I am so sorry, I will sit, okay, because I don't see very much. So the A is the brain, and then we see 56. So 56. So, monsieur, I guess this is the mobile phone. Yesterday, the mobile phone, I told you, it could create inflammation, but if it is low, it could be chronic. So do you use your mobile phone? Is it protected? It is protected, but we need to look at that then, see what it is. It could be neurotransmitter, assimilation of food. So we need to look at that. This would be something important. Resistance 65. So we would like to have it a bit higher so that there is maybe some detox to do here. And then hydration, wonderful, 86. Oxygenation 65. Oxygenation we need more oxygen, and there is a way to get oxygen to make sure that virus, bacteria, and all of this do not live in a well oxygenated environment. So we need to look at that. And then it says here that there is maybe some metabolic. So this is why I believe that this is mainly assimilation of nutriment. But what is nice here is that for the cellular vitality, it's 8 out of 10. So that means that his somewhere it's good. The cells are working properly. And the immune system, I want this number less than 19, and you have 8, it's wonderful. So the immune system is reacting. So this is so important, because we know that if we have Ebola virus, we need to have an immune system that is reacting, and yours is good. Okay, so that is very nice. So, and then we have here, here we have a measure that say, how the organs are working together. I would like 700, and you have 650. So somewhere there is maybe one organ that is, not working in harmony with everything. So again, we are not diagnosing everything. We are just saying how we can, I would say, improve, enhance, revitalize, thing. And for you, I always like to say the good thing and the less good thing. So I would say, well, we will work for him on the brain mainly. And the good thing is the cellular vitality. I think it is just wonderful, 8 out of 10. And the immune system, right away, this is really good. And many people, of our age, the immune system sometimes is weak. Okay, so this is really nice. So we will have a look at all those numbers are first numbers. They may change, and but as I said, the brain probably has some. It was saying imbalance of the brain. Maybe this is it. So the way it balances here is left and right, up and down, and front and back. So we could do this type of thing. And then, the brain, we know how important it is. So what I will not do like a real session, but I want to show you the miasm, the DNA, how it works, and things like that. And then I know one thing. There is a wonderful website. I did not include it. I forgot. A nice website with all the disease and all the chromosome and all the gene. So if somebody come with, let's say, one disease, let's say diabetes, I will go on this website, diabetes, and we'll say, well, these are the genes that are impacted, and they are mainly on which chromosome. Then this is a website independent, scientific website that is independent for our device, but we can use it. Then I can come and work specifically on that chromosome. Okay, so this is important. So for you, monsieur, you did not react too much, and this is maybe the reaction in here. Usually there is more red, but this is good if it does not show. So what we have here, I will say the chromosome, and then chromosome, that would be like we have them in all the chromosome with the P and Q. You know about those things, huh? There is the long branch and the small branch, and then is the chromosome. So here we work more with the 6P, whatever. There is no red. Okay, so no red. This is not necessarily something. But let's say if monsieur would come with something. Let's say I would just write something easy. Let's say I would just write here stress. Okay. Whatever it is, it's not the way I would do it. No, I will not do it. I will do the right way. Let's go. We go into a disease, and then let's say that I will take something easy. Okay, easy. Okay, whatever. Let's say a low back problem. Let's say this is it. Maybe it's not. I took it not serious. I took it in the blue, so I will not make a problem. So the way we would do, we would just go. And then we will say, what chromosome is impacted by this stress? Okay, and then I could just do, and then it will tell me which chromosome. So the idea is that we know that whatever condition is in our body or whatever stress, it impacts everything. But then it will just tell me, like it tell me that the 8K, 8Q, 14P, 5Q, 17, Then I can just go one by one if I want.
Why don't you take diabetes, because that's my condition.
Yeah, this is, okay, diabetes.
That would be real.
That would be real. Okay, so that is good. Diabetes. Okay, so so what is D-E-A-B-E-T-E-S? Okay, we'll just go. And then there are plenty of type of diabetes. We'll just see. You are working on diabetes mellitus. Yeah. Okay, so we go there. I put in there, and then I could look at what emotions are behind this problem, or I will look at the chromosome. Today it is the chromosome. What is the, say it again, Ganesh? 20 minutes left. Okay, so I need to, thank you so much, because I told him to tell me, because I have so many things, and I want that we look at the miasm and everything for you. So it will tell me the chromosome. So maybe, Ganesh, you will keep track. Ganesh, you take track of those chromosomes for him, okay? So it says the 8Q, okay, the chromosome 8Q twice. So when it is twice, that means that it is important. And then the 19P and the 7Q. Did you note that? Okay, so anyway, we will look at that. But you understand, then I can just go, and the 8Q, I can just go and do the treat. I made it simple today. But this is, and then it will tell me if you take it nicely. So it will last, 10 seconds maybe. And I will look at here. There is an indication if he reacts well, okay, to that. And we have 1 second. 1 second, we'll see what it is. And then we can look at all the thing, behind. Look at that. He reacts so well, full of blue. So, I mean, you are reacting. So we can see that he is doing energetic thing. Because, if this is a chronic condition, but your body is just full of, look at that, those like blue, that means that your body took it. So that is very, very wonderful. So what we will show again is just to go and see the chromosome, okay? Let's go and see the chromosome just to see what it is. We go there, and then we have all the chromosome. So what I could do here, I can look naturally. We know about the telomere. We will have a little bit of something about the telomere. So it will just continue working while we are doing our chromosome scan. So what we will do is scan and repair gene. It will last 2 minutes, but during this time, what I can do, I can go to activate some other, and I can work on something else. And what is important for him would be the brain, okay? So this is something that is so nice, and then we can go and work. And it talk about the occipital for him, okay? So we will just go into, in the first screen, it talk about occipital. Occipital is what? Occipital is fear. When we are in survival mode, so I am sorry, it is because I have a projector, I have too many things. My computer is just now holding, for the brain. But the occipital, so this is really something important. And occipital is what neurotransmitter that is necessary for the occipital. I guess they talked to you yesterday about that, maybe. The serotonin. And serotonin is so important. And serotonin, what it is. So then we can make a link. You remember when I talked to him about the A, the amperage, I said the brain, it was 56, okay? And I told him at one point, maybe he does not assimilate the food. So if you are in the occipital or survival mode, what is happening is that there is fear, and then fear. And then there is a lack of serotonin, okay? And serotonin is created where? In the small intestine. Small intestine. So small intestine is the organ for the assimilation of food. So right away, his situation in the brain is probably related to his lack of assimilation in the small intestine. So we need to just look at that, So look at that. We can see right away how it goes. But I need to tell you, if you have, I would do a session here, including myself, 99% of the people do not assimilate what they eat, okay? So right away, if we are in survival mode, forget about it. Like even taking our mobile phone. Our mobile phone, the body say, oh, I am attacked. If I am attacked, I am in a survival mode. When I am in a survival mode, no time to digest the food, no time to assimilate, no time to repair anything. It's survival. And it goes into the circulation and things like that. And when we were talking about diabetes, for sure, look at that. This was good. There is good thing for you.
You're right. because I got a leaky gut. I know that.
Okay, well, that is good. Look at that. This is great. The device does not lie. So the idea, look at that. And what I like in here, it look at all the chromosome, and then it's rectified to 76%. This is really good for the first time. Most of the time it's 50, 40, 17, you know. So we can see that you are working, monsieur. So this is very good. But it tells me that we should look at the chromosome number 12 for you. And then we have, you know, some book to tell, you know, what is this chromosome and everything. We will not go into that, but we could correct. And it will tell me here, what are the neurotransmitters that he need? And then it say that, well, vitamin also, it say here the D1, okay? And then there is, he say about the calcium, that we need to look at the regulation of the calcium and the fat deficiency in the fatty acid. And we could do and work on chromosome here. I will need to tell you more. And it will just go, and then it start, and it's very easy. And it will tell, and then it will tell me what is the emotion that is stressing your DNA, your chromosome. And it talk here about spirituality. Amazing. Amazing. You know, it is like something that is probably there today. And then, you know, and then vanity, you know, and then there is plenty of things. But, and then it is probably related to your family, okay? So this is really interesting. And what we go here, we go until we have 100. We will not do it today because we don't have time. But, you know, as I said, it's really simple, you know, to how to work with this. Although we need to understand a little bit what we are doing, okay? So, and then we teach, you know, how to work with this. And then what I want to talk also is we talk about miasm, because you were interested in knowing what is miasm. And at the same time, we will go into the homotoxicology. And I guess you know the homotoxicology, and I hope you do. And I think it is beautiful. Do you know, is there some people who knows about Requeg and his theory of, you know, cleansing the body? No. It's really wonderful. I mean, this is a German guy, and he is good, Requeg. And then he developed a system that shows, you know, where is the toxicity in the body. And then it will tell us also the miasm. So first we will just go and see the toxicity here. So what we would, you don't see, but I am interested in looking at what is above 100 and below 60. And we look at leaky gut 57. So that is true, you have this leaky gut problem, okay? But, you know, and then constipation and all of the thing, you know, food additive. So there are plenty of things, you know, that we could do on the detox. Anybody in the detox, heavy metals, and I work with zeolite liquid zeolite. It's just wonderful, perfect, and it is really a good detox. And look at that. Now we will look at what are the vulnerabilities coming from your ancestor, and we talk about what is above 100 is fungus, and below 60 leprosy. So maybe in your genealogy you had somebody who had leprosy, and then we have syphilinum. So maybe in your genealogy there was somebody that died with syphilis. Okay, 7th generation is really high. But then what is important is not to know about those things. Is the psychology that come when we have those miasm. And the miasm of syphilinum is not necessarily, it's something where somebody can be sometimes, so it does not mean that it is you. But you might have transmitted to your family, or you can inherit it from, you know, from above. And it is, you know, a lack of joy of the life. You know, when you love life, you know, those people with syphilinum, they have lost the desire for the love of the life, okay? So it could be, so if ever in your genealogy or your family, you have had some people with depression or something, it could be like this, okay? It does not mean that it is 100, but you know, there is more in the psychology of miasm. I don't have time to talk about all of this, but this is important. And then what we could do, we could just click twice, and then it will just try to repair, okay? So this is very, very simple. As I said, it's simple, but we need to know where, and then there is numbers. So when we say look at what is above 100, what is below? What is below mean chronic? Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, that is good. We will just go, and then it will just rectify 100%. So he react like one beautifully. Beautifully. So this is really, really good. So, and then we could look at what it say here, whatever, you know. Maybe you are not receptive. It say that. Okay, yeah, I'm joking. So we just go, and then we will look at the organs. Just look at the organs, and you know, we like to look at the organ because we have the immune system here, and then we have graph, and then it just shows to me which, you know, I don't like peak. The peak above and the peak below, and then the peak above. This one I would not like. This one, you know, those peaks above 100, and then we have the thymus, thyroid, thymus, digestion, chakra. You know, we could just, and then the gallbladder, monsieur, gallbladder. We need to be careful. I talked to you yesterday about the gallbladder and the spleen chakra. And the gallbladder again. So I would, if I were you, I would suggest, you know, good detox of the gallbladder. And we have nice product that come from Peru or South America that can melt, you know, those things. It does not have to be complicated. But what is important is that somewhere. So what I would look also at is when there is a problem with gallbladder will capture all the anger. It could be non-expressed anger, okay? Like I said about me and my father and everything. So we need to face like that, and we would encourage you, you know, to look at that. And then when we talk about the spleen chakra, I would talk about his family. Spleen, the spleen is related to le clan, the tribe, his family. Uncles, relatives, you know, brothers, all of this. You know, we could look at that. There is maybe some stress there, okay? So there is this, and then the miasm, and I wanted to show you a little bit about the emotion. We will not go, we'll just go quick. But we have plenty of things, and when we were talking about miasm, you know, it is unconscious. So we could, well, this is a therapy that is very nice. We can ask the system, what are the conflicts that the person wants to resolve today or let go? And then it will go until in the belly. It will start from week 1 in the belly, in the wound. So not the belly, but in the wound. So this is really something interesting to discuss. And then also, so we will look at that, you know, blah, blah, blah. I will not go into this, but you can see we have graph, we have 74, you know, emotions, and then we have, you know, the neurotransmitter we can have and balance. What I would like to tell him is mainly we will go about nutrition, because it is so important that we talk about those nucleotides that I told you. So what we do is that we go into the 1 second, and then I go into the risk profile, and then we will have risk profile. So here I have all the, well, first we could look at risk. I will just do it quick again. This is block. I should not have done this. But anyway, no big deal, but it is block. It is block. Ganesh, you do this. You know, sometimes it happens. You know, there is one thing that is important, is that when we do the work, and we have not done this, is to prepare the client so that it will go smooth. Sometimes it could be, you know, and when we are doing a presentation. But I would feel sorry because I wanted to talk about the nucleotide. Just restart, quick. No, not restart. You do, huh? We don't have time. We don't have time? Oh, I am so sorry. 5 minutes you do. You just empty and then you start. Give. Yeah. Yes, yeah, that is true. I am so sorry. This is my mistake, monsieur. But you know, when we talk about the nucleotide is adenosine, not cytosine, I don't remember now, guanine, and you know, all of this, uracil for the DNA, RNA. Anyway, so again, we have a workshop tomorrow. We can do a lot of things. And it could be my mistake because I went a little bit too fast. And this is not the best, you know. We don't do a session with by doing a demo. But, you know, but it is really nice, you know, that you have shared, you know, you have wanted to share. Let's go to the what a guy. He is so bright. He is so bright, huh? So this is good. You know, Indians are good with technology, okay? I need to tell you that. It is very good. Well, you know, for me, I have decided, I told you, I have adopted, you know, India. And the day I will do my transition, or die, I will die in India. This is clear for me. It is me.
You're going to live to 120 first.
Sure, 300, 900, they say now. Maybe I will join the Babaji in the Himalaya and everything. We never know. But I look at amino acid, and we'll have a look at the amino acid. And then we have the, look at that, you don't see too much the numbers. I don't have that many above 100. I will write here brain. And I will say in the brain, does he have all the amino acid that is needed? And then it will tell me. And then mainly what I am concerned is all of them here because they are related to DNA, RNA. And look at that. So do you see above 100? I don't like the one above 100. And then I have 160, 149, 188. And mainly in the nucleotide, we have the thymine, 139. Okay, uracil, 163. So uracil is necessary in the RNA. So this is, if we want to work on the DNA of this person, we need to start there and say, okay, well, let's look at all those nucleotides. Thank you, Ganesh. He explained, but I am happy I showed you a few things about the DNA. It is so important. It is so important. And then we can balance this. We have plenty of therapies and programs to do this. Okay, and then I just want to close. So and then if we look at that, and then we can look at, I said the thymine, the thymine is the thymine. Well, anyway, we will not look at that. It's too long, okay? We have no time, and we are supposed to respect. Do you want to know more about our SCIO Eductor? Join us for our Sunday workshop tomorrow, 10 o'clock. And we will do a long session and we will explain all the therapies. And the thing that I would have liked to say, at least we will show it tomorrow because now I need to go. But I want to show you a little. When we were talking about the brain, then we have this one where we can go and then we can train the brain. And the brain, I told you, this is the most important thing. And then we would do that. And then there is yellow stars. When he has the harness, then there will be yellow star here. And the more he can produce yellow star, that means that his brain is working properly. It produces the gamma. And the gamma, and mainly his brain wants this vibration, the 639 hertz. And what is interesting, look at that. It goes, but there is nobody, so it's not working. But you see the stars. And I need to tell you one thing. My mother, the other day, I did this, and she went to 1,000 in 2 minutes. And I said to my mother, I said, hey, you are far away from Alzheimer, you are very much intuitive. She said, yeah. And then, I could see how intuitive she was. So this was really wonderful. So this is like the way, and then we did that the other day with some athletes. And then we say, because they want them to be concentrated. And then the guy would produce a lot of yellow stars, and that was really nice. This is what we call feedback, okay? Biofeedback, okay? So that is it. I am so happy that I have shown to you. You have just seen a little bit glimpse of what it is. But it is, as I said, it is a wonderful, it is always in development. And I believe that hospital should have that. Hospital should have that. And then even if it is not accepted necessarily, clearly by the mainstream, but you can see how it's easy. And we could see right away with this man, and then, I could just say, oh, continue what you're doing because you react well, So this is really nice. You can just give very, very interesting feedback. And then we have our all details here from Ganesh and myself. Okay, well, sorry. Whatever it is, okay, that was it, okay, thank you, no, that was a thank you, Ganesh and myself, this is our numbers and you're welcome, okay, thank you so much, okay, monsieur, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is very good, thank you, Ganesh.
Tomorrow also we have a training here. It's from the Ganesh sir, picture of madams. Please have coffee, tea over here itself. Next session we are going to start, and already I think we can give a big round of applause for the madam for today's session, what she has done. If you people want to experience more about all that, tomorrow you can stay back for the workshop. You can join for that with Rita madam, you can give the address or even with the Reddy sir, so that we can conduct the program for that tomorrow.